facts that are before us, breaking them down and making sure that you make sense of it all. Welcome. As usual, we start off with the big three stories for the day, and I'm ready. I don't know about you. Let's sink our teeth into it. What are those three big stories for today? Well, I'll start with the most recent and the one that's making the biggest buzz online, offline, on your coffee and dinner tables, in your bedrooms, in your offices, in the newsrooms, and on air. Well, there's the story about the Chicago University. Obviously, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's, trying to make sense of it. Well, that headline says, Chicago Varsity vindicates Tinubu and presidency, or insists Atiku files documents today. Well, just to add to that, Atiku Abubakar is going to be addressing the press today at 3 p.m. We'll get to find out what exactly he has to say that's new and different from what we've been hearing all week long. Another story here says Naira among Africa's worst currencies and falls by 40%. And this is a report from the World Bank. And our third big story for today, Lagos. I'm going to bring you the third big story because I like these things. This one says downturn in the economy. Yes, states borrow 46 billion naira from banks to pay salaries. I did tell you that states are hemorrhaging. They're now having to borrow to pay salaries. Where does all of this end? Where are we going from here? Again, will the Naira be capable to make a comeback anytime soon? And how easy will it be for Atiku to get the Nigerian courts to admit this his all interesting discovery, according to him? 0700 993 993 993. These are the stories we're tracking on the Big Three. My name is Okon, and we're welcoming you to join the conversation. Let's do this.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three.
On Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigerian Info.
0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. If you're a lady, you can join the conversation. 01465 7190. That's 01465 7190. You can join the conversation. We're live youtube.com/Nigeria Info 99.3. You could also join us facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3. On X, that's Twitter, use the hashtag Hard Facts, and we will be able to read from you. We're also on WhatsApp. But I'm going to start with the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This will be calling from Ikeja.
Hi, Obi. Go ahead, please.
Mary Ann, please, this Chicago something, I want to beg now. This is not issue of Tinubu, Atiku, or Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. This is the image of Nigeria is at stake. If you listen to the calls coming from overseas since yesterday, Nigerians are being humiliated outside this country. Let us try and do damage control, or else Nigeria will be doomed. Thank you very much.
Okay. I really would like to know who's humiliating Nigerians outside the country because of some story. I'm curious. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, sister.
Good afternoon.
I cannot believe that our Naira is among the worst currency in the world.
In Africa, actually.
In Africa.
According to the World Bank.
Naira is the best money and will continue to be the best money. Yes, okay. Any country or organization that's saying it, that's why I consult them. I don't believe it's my Naira is the best. Another one, state government should stop borrowing. This is the time federal government will allow states to extract, to do agriculture. Let them stop borrowing. We have all it takes to cushion the effect.
Do you think if states had all it takes or all it took for them to be able to cater to themselves, they'd be going and borrowing?
They have all it takes. If they come in around.
So why are they borrowing? Because it's easy to say we have all it takes, but do we really? Do these states really have what it takes? Because again, they go cap in hand every other day, every other month to the federal government to get money. So really, do they have what it takes? I'm asking you a question. Do they have what it takes?
I say we have what it takes.
How?
Okay, how? I will explain. They should go to round table, discuss with the federal government. know how much allocation they will bring so that they will serve all their states. That's what I mean. You may be sitting in studio and with your headphones.
Sorry, what do you mean by they should go and give them allocation? You're not making sense. I'm sorry. Go. You're saying that the states have what it takes. They're viable. How are they viable? If states are viable, why are they going cap in hand to the federal government? Why are they borrowing to pay salaries? You're telling me they should go and do roundtable and still ask for, what are you saying? It's what they do on a monthly basis. They still go and collect these monies. So what are they sharing? If you give me a better argument and say, well, maybe states have to start looking within themselves and start seeing how they can create better, wealth for themselves and see how they can better their own internal economy, then I think that you're making an argument. But when you say they should go back to Abuja, are you joking? Please don't. Hello.
Hello, Naira. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ben. I'm calling from Eba.
Go ahead, please.
Naira, you see our Naira, it will continue to degenerate, to lose value. Because the Mr. President do what he's supposed to do. It is importation of petrol that is taking our foreign exchange out of this country. Mr. President should build modular refinery. He should discourage the importation of fuel. It is too bad. He should make modular refinery in the geopolitical zones and give them crude. We should start production. Nigeria is the most blessed country. We have the most blessed land. We can plant vegetables. We can plant yams. We can plant cassava. Grow all these things, rice, everything. Pursue terrorists from the forest and develop Nigeria. Build cocoa, plant everything, potatoes, ginger, watermelon, so many things.
Okay, I hope you know that most of these things that you're saying, we plant them. It's just that we've had to deal with. The reality is also again that we're having to deal with insecurity.
I'm talking of mechanized farming, not talking of low-scale farming. Mechanized farming.
Okay.
Mechanized farming.
Okay.
And we protect them and export them and get coordinated. What of countries? By now, people are planning and let them not. Look at my wife, what you don't from Malaysia. It's the most expensive and the best cannot you can use. It is reddish in color. Why are we like this now? If people doesn't know what to do, let him step down.
Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it. We also must know realistically that one of the reasons why, remember we had a conversation about, buying things, a certain tomato that when you buy it and get home, it squeezes like an old lady's hand, and then it's just been injected with water and air to look plush. And so now people have to import tomato from, I think, Ghana. So yes, we can be viable, and I get it. We need to go beyond the hoe and machete kind of farming into better productivity. I keep hearing about mechanized farming, and government keeps saying, oh, they're doing, but we never really see how much of it that they're doing, and I totally get it. But then we're also having some of our crops, some of these farms are impenetrable because these unknown gunmen, bandits, and all of these people have taken over those farms. So agriculture is also in a state of limbo. Apologies, do call us back. Hello. Hello.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You sound very far away from your phone.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You are welcome. I think this is the first time I'm speaking to you.
Oh, yes.
Our sister left.
Yes.
Okay. For state borrowing, my name is Sam from Mowe.
Okay, Sam.
For state borrowing, I don't see any reason why states should go borrowing. They are not cutting quotes according to their size. Each state can generate funds enough for them. That is if they live within their means. Look at them. Look at what they spend. Look at one state governor having how many advisors? Up to 20, 30 for state. What do you need those ones for? What do you need those ones for?
I wonder.
You cannot do. You now go and tell the two in order to please your followers. After you have picked them in position, then you go and borrow and give them. This borrowing, we will be able to pay it if it's not taken. The best thing is to tell them. Obasanjo tried for this nation by paying our debt. We didn't know what that man did. And people are raising causes and abuse on it. Very soon, the thing we done on us, the borrowing that the last government borrowed, it will be on the whole of us. The other time I said that we are going to suffer. I was the one who I think
We're not going to suffer.
that
Stop
time.
it. You have to be.
So
Do you not go
because
to
of-
church, sir? You have to be positive.
No, it's not a cause. What I'm saying that if that means I'm putting if we did not caution on what we are doing, certain things that we are not supposed to do, we are doing them.
Okay, I have to let you go because your time is up. I just wanted you to land 0700 993. These are the stories we're looking at today. Let me go into the detail of some of these stories. Let me start with the economic crisis, where states are having to borrow 46 billion naira from banks to pay salaries. Now, from the Punch newspaper, they're telling us the state governments have borrowed about 46.17 billion naira from 3 banks to pay salaries between January and June of 2023. According to their findings, these findings were based on analysis of the half year of 2023 financial statements of Access Bank, Fidelity Bank, and Zenith Bank. I'm thinking something. Anyway, the Punch newspaper observed that states borrowed the most from Access Bank in 6 months, with a record of 42.97 billion naira loan. It was followed by Zenith Bank with 1.78 billion naira borrowed, and Fidelity Bank 1.42 billion naira borrowed within 6 months period. According to the H1 2023 financial statement of Access Bank, excuse me, the outstanding balance on the salary bailout fund was about 58.84 billion naira by June of 2023, from 101.81 billion naira in December of 2022. And I'm asking, don't forget that Mr. President has also approved a salary or a new wage bill for the NLC, for Labour. And labor union members don't end at the federal government. They're all across the state. Reminding you guys of the fact that, see, when I'm losing my train of thought. When I think it was the Buhari administration raised the money, was it Buhari or Jonathan, to 30K? So many states were unable to pay their salaries. They had to ask for bailouts again from the federal government. And here we are now. That money has been increased to 30, from 30 to, I think there's an additional 25. So it's a lot of money now. Can the states pay these monies across the board? And we just finished talking about the fact that states are not viable economically and otherwise. How many states can be like Lagos State? So the question is, are the states going to be able to pay salaries going forward, knowing what's happening with the economy? All right, 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. The presidency, let's talk about Chicago now. Chicago certificate. The presidency on Wednesday insisted that the academic records released by the Chicago State University in the United States has vindicated President Bola Tinubu and confirmed him as an alumnus of that school. The senior special assistant to the president on media and public affairs, Temitope Ajayi, also submitted that the CSU never said the certificate presented to the Independent National Electoral Commission before the presidential election by Tinubu was forged in its deposition. Now, having obtained Tinubu's academic records on the order of an Illinois Chicago court, the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, says today he was going to file his application at the Supreme Court. And I must add that there's a press conference that's going on now, or maybe hasn't started, but we'll be bringing you some details and feedback from that live press conference. And my question I'm asking today on this Chicago situation is, will whatever finding Atiku think he has be admissible in court? How easy will it be for him to get it admissible into court? And finally, the Naira. Nigeria's Naira is among the worst performing currencies in Africa. The World Bank has said it's noted that the currency weakened by nearly 40% against the US dollar since mid-June devaluation. Now, the World Bank has explained also in its report titled Africa's Pulse, an analysis of issues shaping Africa's economic future between October 2023, volume 28. It stated, and I quote, "So far this year, Nigeria's Naira and the Angolan Kwanza are among the worst performing currencies in the region. These currencies have posted a year-to-date depreciation of nearly 40%. And I'm asking, can the Naira stage a comeback anytime soon? Let's talk. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Naira Chinanyangwa.
The name no fit you. Go ahead.
If people don't want to fix our line, in fact, I'm not happy.
The engineers can hear you. Scream louder. The engineers can hear you. Just keep screaming to the engineers. They can hear you. They'll fix it. Just scream louder. Be angry more.
But I am very angry, but I'm not going to contribute to it. People fix our line.
See, protest. Okay, are you going on strike?
I want to protest.
Indeed. Are you contributing? She's really going on strike. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris.
Chris, go ahead. Mr. Chris, go ahead.
I hear one of our brothers say they should go to farm. Which farm? Where are they going to farm? Where? Where the insecurity all over the place. The governors, the banks are not crying out. When they were borrowing them this money, and they see that these people are not producing, you keep on borrowing them. Go and see how large these governors live. Go and see their convoy. The other day, one of the governors, they said the wristwatch the guy put on. Go and hear how many $1 million he bought those wristwatches. Today, the banks are complaining. Our Naira is the worst in Africa. And my chairman, Koboko, is saying no. We always keep on
He's speaking by faith. He's speaking by faith. He's being positive.
Hello, Action Lady.
I said Koboko is being positive.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. That is how we pretend, though, as if all is well throughout 8 years of Buhari, 2 years of Buhari. I told Chief Quadri, this is what these guys promised. Maria, did you hear that over 200 people killed in Ethiopia, Nigerians? 200. And we pretend as if nothing happened. They're talking about banking. But let them owe them. Let them owe them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, for calling. I appreciate it. Let me take the calls coming in on Skype because every single person on Skype is trying to call me. Azu Frank is calling us here on Skype. Hello, Azu. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Azu, go ahead, please.
He said he's speaking by faith. Now, by faith, there is appreciate the currency.
You put you leave me alone now. What is it?
No, Miriam, you are part of the problem. More they speak talk CB. Now, faith, America and Europe use the fix, and Indonesia use the fix their currency. They are here telling you that these people are borrowing up and down, and they are borrowing to pay salary. Like you're not even talking about how we go fix this borrowing. What we do? It's now called that they are speaking by faith. Look. You ask a question with the Naira appreciate. Let us tell ourselves the truth. We don't have very still or see rock bottom. We have a dwindling economy. The currency, like you just stated, is 40% depreciated. There is no hope inside, no talker, no electricity for industries, security. The farmers can go to work. Many things there. Now, the people who will put to manage all these things and they manage the economy to fix them. The man, they drag and left, right, and center for certificate. He's not concentrating. The truth is, we need to buckle up and get ready. Anything can happen. We don't know where they go. Nothing like we're using by faith. Say it as it is. And if I will speak here, let's speak truth.
Right. Thank you very much, Azu, for calling. I'm going to take a few more Skype calls when we come back from our break, but I want to quickly read messages on WhatsApp. Daya from Canada says no Nigerian is being humiliated anywhere because that's bare apologist. He that wears the shoes knows where it pinches. You cannot be in your room and start commenting on what's happened. You are taking a mountain out of a molehill. Okay. This one says, Mariano, even if nothing tangible comes out at the end, I take solace in the fact that my suspicion became a fact and doubts cleared. There's something fishy and inconsistent about Mr. President. And he says, if we dig further to other aspects of the president's life, we are in for revelations. We've got to go, Lagos. We've got some more news to talk about when we come back from the break. First, let's take this breather. It's still 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
We've done it twice and we're doing it again. Are you ready? Agboya Link Up is back, and this time we're teaming up with Landmark to give you the party of the year. Mark your calendars for the 8th of October 2023 at Landmark Beach.
On the big three stories for the day, the biggest, Atiku Abubakar is going to be speaking to the press. I think he is speaking to the press now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it started, but yes, he is supposed to grant a press conference right after he files his suit at the Supreme Court. The Naira has dropped by 40%, and it is ranking as one of the worst currencies on the African continent. And states are hemorrhaging. They're borrowing from banks to pay salaries. And I'm saying, with this new wage regime, can the states cope? What is the alternative? Let's talk. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. If you're just joining the conversation, you're a lady, you want to call us. I don't know what's happening to our ladies line, but engineers, you can look into it. So I'm not going to call the ladies number because it's not working. Everybody just call 0700 993 993 993. And if you're listening and watching us from outside of the country, you want to be part of the conversation, please, by all means, join us. We're via Skype, Nigeria Info. And if you're listening to us wherever you are and you don't want to call but you want to contribute, well, go to our social media page on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, but on Twitter and Facebook you can drop your comments because we would like to hear from you. On our live feed on YouTube also, please drop a comment. I'd read it out loud. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Planet Man, calling from Second Planet. You know why I listen to Nigeria Info? Nigeria Info is very, very sound. Better than CNN. Look all your crew from Femi. Look all your crew, they are very sound. If you are employing Mumu, do you think we will listen to you? We will not listen to your station now.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh.
I'm not going to listen to you if you are not going. If you are employing Mumu, tell Nigeria to take Mumu as our leader again, so that our country can move forward. You cannot do anything by faith. If you bring all Nigeria Info crew on ground, CNN cannot stand you. Argentina cannot stand you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've been all over the whole world too. Nigeria is not moving the way it's supposed to move.
Okay.
Look, the owner of Nigeria, I'm very sure, is a Muslim. If we employ a Muslim, he employed the best. I'm even sick now.
How do you know that the owner is a Muslim?
I'm sick. Do you know why I'm sick?
Why are you sick?
I wake up 4 o'clock every morning because of Nigeria Info.
Oh.
I'm sick. You will cure me.
We will cure you. Receive your healing.
To you, I will be sick.
Receive your healing. Receive it. Receive it. Now, take it. Take it.
I should receive by faith, Abby.
Thank you very much for calling. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Turn off your radio, please. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is the merchant man.
Hey, what's up?
Pino.
Pino Estate.
On a quick note, the state is hemorrhaging. And somebody is thinking that by faith, the currency will appreciate. I don't know what is wrong with the mentality of our people. But the truth is, the last time I checked, Nigeria is sending their oil to other countries that at the end of the
Hello, you're breaking.
Yeah.
Oh, you're breaking. Do call me back if you can. I want to go back to Skype and take some calls. I think Osaze is calling us here on Skype. Let me take that call quickly. Hello, Saze. Thank you for joining us. Where are you calling us from?
Hey, Marianne. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. All right, Jakarta. Go ahead.
Okay, quick question. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know since you're in the media industry, you should have some knowledge about this. When was the last time Nigeria actually worked as a country?
We're working. Stop it.
Okay, let's be realistic. I don't want all those people. I'm a Christian too, but there are times I need to, because at the end of the day, people ask as if you just need to have faith. You still need to work and have faith at the same time.
Oh, if you're a Christian, you know that you have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Work being the operating word there.
Yeah, but do we do the work part? We don't. We only act like we're working, but we're not working. The fact that at the end of the day, if I'm to give my honest opinion, Nigeria worked when we were using the regional rule system, where every area produces what they have, keep the majority of it, and send the tax forward. That was when Nigeria worked. Because right now, look at the way they've handled the oil industry. Which of the other regions would want to bring out or try to push for resources when at the end of the day, the resources were taken out, but the people were pushing to abject poverty due to the destruction of the land and irregular practices carried out in terms of the oil or gas extraction. What we need to do now, at least, is to invest more in infrastructure. And if I'm to point them in the right direction, the first infrastructure they're supposed to invest in is power. Without power, no country can survive without power. Power is a lifebone. And to make matters worse, we actually have everything. The North has River Niger and River Benue. You realize that one of those rivers can be dammed at least twice. And you know the annoying fact that, okay, every year we have flooding in those regions because the water is just flowing and nobody is damming.
Okay.
They have wind, they have sun there. We in the south, we have oil and gas that could be used. Those in some parts they have coal. So I'm like, why are they not doing something about this? I think they should consider going back to regional road where every is
Osaze, I'm laughing, but thank you very much for calling. It's a hard sell, I know, to go back to regional government. It's a hard sell. It's going to be a pretty hard sell. Let me go to WhatsApp here. Hamid, I'm sure that's what your name is. Hamid Kuti from Oran Shoki says, I greet you, Marianne. Until we have the right thinking people in power, I mean, real Democrats, I don't think Nigeria will stand up from this crawling that we're into. Okay. Good afternoon. The currency of Nigeria is destroyed by Nigerians because how can you go to the bank for dollars and a professional banker will direct you to a bookie outside? What a shame. Akudo. Thank you. David Oyikocho from Magodo says our leaders should wake up and fix the currency crisis. Thank you very much, David. Still on WhatsApp here, Ola from Lagos says, how come the state borrowed but we got to know from the bank account statement? Did they borrow in secrecy? Because no governor mentioned going to banks to borrow. I hope this isn't for their personal gain. Well, they said they borrowed to pay salaries. Did you hear that part? Now, why? Duncan in Nigeria, your message is so long. I'll try and read to an extent. All this singing and dancing over whether or not Tinubu is academically qualified for the office of the president is easing up gradually as expected. I'm telling you this because all those belly aching over Tinubu's candidature are now reaching some irksome epiphany. That their attempt to wear Tinubu down by these boisterous, noisome and poorly orchestrated campaign of calumny is fading off and weakening fast. Okay, you could have just said that in simple English. You just wanted to sound really smart, don't you? Okay, this one says, good afternoon, Marianne. I'm currently writing 5 books. 1, what happened to old Nigeria? Do our politicians really deserve immunity? Judiciary is Nigeria's number 1 problem. What do people mean when they say, may Nigeria not happen to you? And number 5, the untouchables in Nigeria. Please tell these old politicians that keep recycling themselves that we the legit and responsible youths are watching. Obaino from Munshi. Well done. All right. This one says, help me ask Azu Frank, how much is a dollar in Indonesia to Indonesia rupiah? I honestly want to know. Okay. I'm sure you can Google that. No, they send me work. I know they like those kind of things. Do your work by yourself. All right. I'm just going to read a few more messages on WhatsApp and then go to Facebook. Somebody says, oh gosh, this message. Let's see. People should ask their state governors what are they? Oh my goodness. What are they using the increment in federal allocations for since the removal of subsidy? These problems are not only from federal government, but successive state governors contributed a lot more than the presidents. Bayo from Shagamu. Very good question, actually. But how many of us really remember our governors were always talking about the president? And I'm not saying the federal government needs to be absolved of their responsibilities, but the state governors are right in front of us, submitting empty papers to the houses of assembly, christening them with ridiculous names. And these budgets are not open. You cannot find it anywhere. You cannot pursue it. You cannot ask questions. But you're quick to say, federal government, what is your governor doing? Start querying them now. All right. This one says, okay. This one says, in all of this, without good security, the country will not move forward. Kingsley Benibor, thank you for your message. Marianne, the governors are just collecting and borrowing and living big and partying and not carrying the people and the state at heart. Where is the security vote? Farmers cannot go to their farms. Borders are closed for food flow. Refinery, energy, roads. Our refinery bargained for a loan, no accountability. Rather, Mr. President is still asking for more loans and gives gives to governors to pay salaries. Honestly, it's high time that we start doing things right. May God bless Nigeria. Salisu from Ojo sent us that one. Let me go quickly to Facebook and see if I can read a few messages from you. I've still got about 10 minutes on the clock, so I'll try to race the clock with your messages. Let's see. Got messages here. Adeni Ibukun here says, tell Mr. Koboko to be coming. down so we can be able to hear him very well. That's his voice. That's his talking voice. Jason Pisa here says, okay, thank you very much for your messages. Oh, wow. You guys need to let up. All right. Well, we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also live on YouTube, 99.3 Nigeria Info. You can send me a message on Twitter. Use the hashtag HeartFacts because I want to hear what your thoughts are on some of these stories that we brought to you as our big stories for today. Now, if you don't use the hashtag, it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to read your messages. Estelle Bully here on Twitter says the issue of the fall of the Naira is due to this unnecessary floating and incapability of the present administration to do to dot their I's and cross their T's. How can you just fold your hands and close your eyes as you watch your citizens continually suffer like this? They refuse to cut the cost, and they expect us to do what? Well, I don't know. Okay, that's that. So if you don't actually use the hashtag, I'm not going to be able to see your message. Safiano Barry here on Twitter says, for Naira to come back, it depends on Tinubu's economic policies, but from what we're seeing now, it seems to be mission impossible. I'm going to go back to Skype and take a few more calls. Constantine is calling us here. Hello, Constantine. Where are you calling us from?
Hello, Miriam, from Prague, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. My goodness, what are you doing in the North Pole?
Actually, it's like Central Europe is really good, you know.
It's really cold in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I know, but go ahead.
Well, to my own understanding, now we said that the citizens of Nigeria should brace for impact. There is a big wind coming, you know. Because according to the Maastricht Treaty, you see, the state government and the federal government has a ceiling to their borrowing.
Okay.
You know, even in the Africa region, there is a predetermined level that your borrowing or what you are getting as a borrowing should be in your GDP. As I'm speaking to you right now, I believe it's above 100% of borrowing that constitutes Nigeria GDP. That is a big problem. They knew this. The federal government knew this. They know that nobody is going to borrow their money outside the country. That was why they went to the domestic bank. And the domestic bank actually knew that this was a risky business to do with the state government. After all, they went ahead to do the business with them. So what do they expect? When somebody is borrowing money, not for infrastructure, but for servicing of debt, it doesn't work that way. And to my own forecast and from the statistics that I'll be able to gather around and play with, I believe the Naira will keep falling no matter what.
Constantine, I have to let you go. Thank you very much because that's your time. I'm being joined in the studio by our head of news, Mike Bamuno. And he obviously has been keeping his eye on the press conference that was granted at the behest of the PDP presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar Ufoma. I've seen a few things, some excerpts that, from that press briefing. And Mr. Former Vice President is talking about the military, constitution and states. But give us a fair overview of what that press conference was really about.
Well, the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, who also is was the presidential candidate, or I'm not even sure
still
which
the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
Of the People's Democratic Party,
yes.
Held that press conference in Abuja. Because quite a lot has been said, about the ongoing issue involving going to the United States of America, going to a court, and all of that. But the basis of all he said basically is that he's a Democrat. He was part of the people that fought to ensure that we got back the democracy that we got back, from 1999. He has continued to do what it takes. He believes in going through proper channels and going through the rule of law. and that to a large extent, that's what he will continue to do. Finally, he also talked about the fact that he's done his bit. He called on the other traditional rulers, religious leaders, politicians, and then especially he talked about his other counterparts, Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNPP, to join him in this fight. But then one thing I also liked that he mentioned towards the end of the conversation was the fact that he would abide by whatever decision the Supreme Court takes. And that for him, if the Supreme Court rules in his favor, fine. If the Supreme Court doesn't rule in his favor, that it is also fine. But of course, I'm sure Nigerian full listeners are trying to get the nitty-gritty of what was said. Well, he's not a lawyer, so he did not answer that question himself specifically. It was one of his lawyers, and I think we actually have that audio.
Kalu.
Yes, you probably need to play it, and then I can respond to it.
Okay.
Crisis should break us, because in this country, that is where our future. On the certificate issued or released by Chicago State University to the lawyers of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. These are the documents. One, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu forged the certificate he presented to INEC. That's one. Two, that the qualifying certificate from Southwest College to Chicago State University bears a female, indicating that that document does not belong to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Three, the Chicago State University admission application form has a claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended Government College, Lagos, and graduated in 1970, when indeed the school was established in 1974. The same document has it that the owner of that document is a black American, and the document Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC, he denied having dual citizenship, which means it does not belong to him. Then the same document, oral deposition, says that the Bola A. Tinubu is Ahmed, but the NYSC certificate Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC has Adekunle. I don't know where the Adekunle and the Ahmed emerged from.
All right, that was of course Kalu, one of the lawyers to Atiku, trying to explain some of the documents that were released by the Chicago State University. And I must add, Marianne, I'm sure the listener on Nigeria Info must have noticed that on our news over the last 2 days, we have not said anything about the what was in the document as well as the deposition. Now, it's not because we don't want to report it, as maybe some people might think. It's because we have to independently verify what we're reporting. Because we know that Nigeria Info is one station that a lot of persons listen to. A lot of persons take what we say hook, line, and sinker. So we're being very careful not to put out information. Now, also understand that because of how sensitive this issue is, people have biases. People have where they lean on. Unfortunately, even those of us in mainstream media, also there are still biases. So you tend to see some reports that tend to favor one angle, and then you see other reports that tend to favor another angle. On Nigeria Info, we try as much as possible not to be sucked into all that. We just say what we know, and we have the facts of it. I also want to make an important addition. Now, the lawyer said the Southwest College that the president used to the document I used to apply
to the
university had female. Now, when the deposition was done, the registrar of Chicago State University confirmed that the letter of application that was given to Bola Tinubu, he was referred to as he and Mr., meaning that the person they gave admission to was a man.
So it was so they're tying it to a clerical.
So that female there could have been a clerical error. However, the one thing also that came from that deposition, which the lawyer mentioned, is the fact that the certificate that was presented, by president to INEC did not emanate from them. So the question will now be,
where did it come from? So that's the question that's on every Nigerian's mind today. Many people are going to be asking this question going forward. I'm sure that social media is going to be agog with conversations, Twitter spaces, and et cetera, et cetera. I wish we had time to just keep analyzing this, but then there are more shows to have this conversation on going forward. Ufa Mike Bamino is the head of news, Kowazobia Info. Thank you, Foma, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Where's my lunch?
We've got to go, Lagos. When we come back on the other side, let's see if I have like 1 or 2 minutes to take a few of your thoughts after that break. Yes, I might have a minute to read some of your messages. But right now on our live stream, Olufemi Alex Madu says, this country be doing the most. Nothing really works. It's one problem or the other every day. I wonder where we go from here. Yeah, big question. Where do we go from here? Samuel Uzoile here on our YouTube live stream says, the certificate BAT presented to INEC was a forged one. QED, he says. Well, that's according to Atiku's lawyer. We've got to go, I beg your pardon. We've got to go on this break. When we come back, in 1 minute, I might try to read 1 or 2 messages coming in on our WhatsApp portal. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. You've heard some of the information coming from Atiku Abubakar's press conference today. We'll be right back.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
1.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.